Good afternoon. Now I am Christian Gasparini. I am the founder and director of NATOffice. That is an architectural practice that is based in Reggio Emilia and in Milan. I teach in Polytechnic too. And today I try to show you how we try to work, we try to imagine the architecture in relation even to some theoretical approach or research approach that mainly are related to the light, the natural light. The beginning of this path comes from many years ago. It was one of the first projects that I did in Valparaiso. I was selected for an international workshop, and I stayed there to work 2 months. And in this case, we have an incredible situation in the sense that all the urban plan of the city wasn't projected by the officer or the municipality, and was naturally extended and expanded from the inhabitants with only one rule, that all, I don't know if you know, Valparaiso is made of 6 hills, one side by side. And the rule that the inhabitants gave themselves was that everyone has to see the sea. And for this reason, we worked on this texture, on this urban texture in a deep way, I think, because we try to use a simple element, the tent, because Valparaiso was so hot even, to try to sign the main path of the urban city, of the city center. And in this way, as you may see in the second images on the right, even from the sea, when you arrive, you may see during the night these hills and their configuration from the point of view of the geography. So we put some light, electrical light normally, under this tent, and we try to design this sort of path that can show, you may see there the lighter line, may show to all the character of the city, Valparaiso. From this, we worked, we won a competition in Parma in 2001. And for this reason, we realized this building that was a cultural center, La Corte, always in a situation in which there is an heritage building, so you can do some operation and some intervention, but not all, obviously. So we added some new element to the building, but mainly we try to express the existent spaces that we found, and in that way, this was the library and the stairs to go to the library. This project was made by me and the NATOffice and another studio of Reggio Emilia of two of my friends that are Marco Pavarani and Paolo Iotti. And so we define this cultural center with all the system of the program that are library, study spaces, a great auditorium room, the space for an association center, and even a museum. And the beginning of this project was related to the fact that we have this great porch that you may see in the previews. And this great porch has a character that was completely covered and so shadowed by the barn was completely shadowed by the porch, and so we can do this great envelope made all of glass for the civic center, for the auditorium room in which the city council can meet and can be seen by all the inhabitants. These are other picture of the interior. The last two on the left are related to the library, in which there is even another plan, a mezzanine, another floor that stay under the roof, the existing roof. And this instead is the civic center with the furniture that we projected all for this little city near Parma. Then we try to develop this aspect related to the light, not only by using the opening, but by using the walls like a diaphragm, like element that can be put one side each other, and can give us the possibility to give the light a different definition in relation to the interior space. This was another competition that we won. It was a childhood pole, a connection, a little building, really little, a connection between two existing buildings, and this space had to become a piazza, the inner part, the atrium and the piazza, the whole foyer of these schools. And so we imagine that there are a passage in which you can enter side by side to the existing school. And inside there is these great spaces that you may see here, that is completely illuminated by the natural light for all the day, but without any direct entrance of the light. And so in this way we have the possibility to reduce a lot the need of plant system and mechanical system inside, and we use even for, I think, one of the first time, like envelope of the building of this concrete wall, a Heraclite, a sort of panel made of wood fiber that we only painted by a hydro-repellent waterproof painting. Oh, sorry. This estate was a cultural center in Reggio Emilia. It is another project in which we were involved by the Heritage Council of Emilia-Romagna, because we did, first of all, the project of the veranda of the decor of the restaurant, and then they asked us to continue the project even inside this cultural center. And in this case, the idea is that, as we said before, that this wall can become a sort of diaphragm, a sort of passage between this part, that is the main piazza in the city center of Reggio Emilia, and the back of the building that was really closed and even dangerous sometimes in the night before, because there was no possibility when you enter there to go out. And so this closed space was used even from people that are not so, how can I say, so friendly. This was the building that is connected even with this veranda for the restaurant. On the ground floor there is the restaurant and the veranda. On the first floor and on the other floor there are the spaces for the exhibition. This cultural center was related even to the beginning of Fotografia Europea in Reggio Emilia. That is an exhibit that now is at 20 years duration and lasting, and that it will always hosted in these spaces. You may see the interior, and this idea of this path of this cross foyer or foyer that can go from the back to the veranda and to the entrance of the building. This estate was a private residence, a private house, villa, always in Reggio Emilia, that worked on the idea that in the existing plot we have 3 great oak that are listed from the point of view of the heritage, and so we use this oak like the point of view in which the house has to have a look, and we stay even a distance of this of the lower part of the plant by using a system for which we hanged on the ground floor from the garden. After probably you may see. These are the section. There is even the swimming pool in this villa, and the swimming pool is for a half covered by the building, by the night area that is over, and for another part open air. And the idea in this case is that all the ground floor is completely transparent because you have the ground floor that is 1 meter over from the edges that stay all around. And so you may see out if you are the owner, but the people that can walk on the pathway side by side to the hedge can't see inside. This is another building that is an experimentation related to the fact that this building has to become, for the request of the client, an office, an headquarter for a firm, for a company, and then after he said that probably would become his house. And so we worked with the idea that all the spaces in this heritage building can be associated on 2 different programs. And you have not to change anything about the structure or the walls or the element of the architecture, but you can change only the element that you can use inside and how you can use the spaces by furniture. This is the interior, the main spaces that you can see with the tree over. It was the library and study room for the company, and then it will become a sort of living room, sofa, etc. in the habitation, because now they change from the 2015, 2021, there was the headquarter. After, it will become the house of this client. This instead is a restaurant, lounge bar in Reggio Emilia, RABM, in which we worked on the idea of the ivy, because in the exterior wall existent there was some ivy that comes down from the wall, from the roof on the surface of the wall, and so we worked even inside in the same way by putting this natural plant that can be associated with a system for the conditioning air that can give to the plant the right proportion in relation to CO2 and oxygen. This is the exterior, as you may see. There is even a door that we complete the year after. And this idea of the ivy that comes down to the wall. Inside there was even this idea that could be interesting, I think, of the seesaws, that are some element in which you can meet friends and other people, and so even the bar and restaurant and lounge is not only a private space in which you can drink only or you can eat only, but you can meet even the people in this particular situation by watching outside. These are other pictures. This is instead a building that we renovate in the city center, in which we change completely the interior floor, and so from the three stories building that there was, without changing the volume, we join another floor, because there was the first floor that was 1 meter and 20 high from the point of view of the depth. And so we have the opportunity to change the position of this floor, and by using this to have other spaces for these residents. This instead is a competition in which we arrive in the second stage, but we didn't win, for Milan, New Lorenteggio Library, in which we try to use another time this idea of the light like a generator of the interior spaces of the building. And so there is this great stairs that is not a stairs but a sort of piazza on many levels, that is completely illuminated by the right light from north, and no one can be in some way disturbed in the lecture, in the reading and in the studying during this sort of frequentation. As you may see, the cover is made with the depth and the height that can give us the opportunity to enter the light, but in the right way and not in the wrong way. This is another private residence that we built in Modena, in which we explore the idea that all the windows, all the opening can be on the corner of the building, mainly. And so we worked on the depth of these windows, the position of these windows in front of the line of the facade. And in this way, we may have the possibility, as you can see inside in the last picture on the bottom, you have two different panoramic view from the room, from the first floor, and even in the ground floor you can be connected with this great porch that is made with a metal frame that can be covered, now is completely covered, by jasmine. This is a competition, another competition in which we won the third prize in Rome for an arts lab and sport park master plan. It was a big project in which we imagined to have a sort of artificial hill that inside has all the structure for the program related to the sport facilities, swimming pool, and even on the bottom on right the spaces for the artist. And outside you have the possibility, by going on the upper part of this hill, to have a look to part of the Aurelian walls, of the Roman walls of the city of Rome, with the Pyramide Cestia on the right of the main picture. This is another project on which we worked instead in Brazil, in which we use the courtyard that are present in this existent building, really big building, on which we are working even now, because the first stage of the project was realized, but it takes only a part of this posada, the other part of this great building that is covered, listed by the Heritage Council of Brazil, that stays side by side to the building, so we have to pay attention. And we use, in this case, the courtyard like an element that can give us the light inside all the room and inside all the spaces. In the last two floors, as you may see, we use the terrace or the porch, or better, the balcony, to create a sort of diaphragm between the exterior and the courtyard and the room. And in this way, we may have a passage, but even an element that can give the possibility to have a distance, and so in this way to have a right light inside the space of the rooms. These are the other pictures. On the top there was even a swimming pool, but this is a little difficult to realize for the moment because we have a floor that is not so perfect from the point of view, from the statical point of view. The main thing is this three courtyard, one side by side, that can give the opportunity to connect one each other these three great buildings, and in the same time to define the entrance of the light in the interior spaces. This instead is another project related to a leisure and bed and breakfast, how can we say, center related to an hill near Reggio Emilia, in which we are involved with the idea to create a sort of little houses that are distributed in this great hill, and by using the water and the essence of some trees and flowers, we may imagine to create a sort of path and a park that can be connected to this sort of little hut. This instead is another project that is completely different, because we worked on the idea of the smart city, of the smart mobility hub, and we worked for a company that has a lot of gasoline stations in Italy. We won this invited design competition, and now we begin to work at least on one of these by using a sort of system made of container that can be changed and moved and opened in relation to the dimension of the different gasoline station, that can be adapted even to the other spaces, and in which all the elements of the wall can become a sort of roof, and in this way can manage even the light inside the space in which you go to take the gasoline. This instead is an exhibit design drawing related to Fondazione Magnani, that is one of the most important cultural institution in Emilia-Romagna, that has a venue in Fondazione Magnani Rocca near Parma, and another in the city center of Reggio Emilia, Palazzo Magnani. For Palazzo Magnani, we imagined, because the Palazzo Magnani is a building completely listed by the Heritage Council of Emilia-Romagna, we imagined to insert inside this building and the space that are connected, that are all with the frescoes and paintings of great qualities, to enter in this space with a light system of frame, of little structure that can be used even for to carry the cable for the light, and to imagine that this cable, even for the video projection, etc., can be made, can be completely hidden, like all the elements you may see in the two axonometrical view of the plant system, of the mechanical system and the electrical system. And inside the spaces we can build this new structure that is, I think, really light and in relation with the works that are inside, or can be put out inside the building. This is the last project that we built, is a sculpture atelier for a sculptor in Reggio Emilia, near Reggio Emilia, Montecchio, near Parma, in which we use a structure completely made by wood, and all this structure is connected to an idea, another time, of the light. In this case, the light has to enter inside this great box that is the study, sketch, and writing and drawing spaces for the sculpture. We worked a lot with him because we define a sort of another sort of diaphragm, or a system of space one over the other. So you have the entrance with this porch that is completely opened, and in time can be changed. You may see on the back of this picture on the left. In one side you may put the works that are packaged and that has to be sent to the client. On the other side you may put the quarry slabs and blocks. Inside you study and you imagine the sculpture. On the back you have a porch in which you can smooth the slab or the block, and outside you can carve in the open space, because there is the problem related to the dust that the slab and block of quarry can do. This is one of the last projects in which we are involved. Is a competition related to BAIC, European Cultural Library in Milan. And in this case, we worked another time on the light, like a sort of diaphragm, and we put 3 courtyards, one side by side, inside the building, that can be connected to all the spaces of the study and of the lecture, reading, and even meeting for the people. And in this way we have the opportunity, at least inside, to define and create the right light, the right proportion between the spaces and the open air that stay inside, giving the possibility to the building to have another type of space, even inside and not only outside. I finished.